Who can remember being a kid at Christmas and asking Santa for something you wanted so bad and waiting for Christmas morning to arrive and then finally getting to open all of your presents just to realize you didn't get the one thing you wanted? Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I am so ready to ring in 2025 with you. I am looking forward to all that this year will bring, and I want to welcome you all to our first episode of the year for the Free Advantage, brought to you by The Risky Path. I want to invite you to join me each week as we explore self-discovery, authenticity, and the journey to uncovering a life of freedom. This podcast is about sharing and exploring impactful experiences that we all share in a relatable and digestible way. With so much information out there, it can be overwhelming to take it all in. Here, I want to give you small bites that you can take back into your week and integrate into your daily life. Oh, goodness, another year, my friends. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday and are enjoying your very first day of 2025. New Year's always holds a special place in my heart because not only is it New Year's, but it's also my anniversary. 14 years ago at midnight on New Year's Eve, I married my best friend. Thinking back on these last 14 years, there have been so many ups and downs along the way. And this last year for us has not been any different. And I know that there are so many of us that are just glad to be moving in to 2025. We're hoping for a better year. When I sat down to record today's episode, I had something completely different planned. But after my own personal experience this past year and the trials that I am experiencing now, and I have been seeing so many others in life and on social media talk about their struggles and how not everyone had a good year last year, I wanted to share something very personal that I hope encourages you. Now, I talk and coach all about authenticity and walking the risky path so we can live free. And I understand how that is easier said than done. But what I want you to know is that even though I know and understand this work very well, that I too still struggle. Living an authentic life of freedom is not all unicorns and rainbows, and I want to be transparent about what that really looks like even for me. Now, with all of that said, I want to ask you, have you ever just wanted something so bad you couldn't stand it? And you've asked and wait to see if you get it? With us just coming off the holidays, I want to ask, who can remember being a kid at Christmas and asking Santa for something you wanted so bad, and then waiting for Christmas morning to arrive, and then finally getting to open all of your presents just to realize you didn't get the one thing you wanted so bad? It's a very disappointing and defeating feeling. And life right now for me feels just like this, except it isn't a present. It's not a cool jacket or a toy or a fun game. It's life. It's my home and my way of living. This past year has brought some wonderful things, yes. But the honest truth is that it has mainly been utter turmoil and one disappointment after another. A year ago, my husband Sean lost his job due to layoffs, and ever since that point in time, it has felt like our whole world has been flipped upside down. We have done all that we possibly could, from running my business to starting a startup to over 3,000 job applications that have brought nothing to fruition. He finally turned to Uber driving like I know a lot of us do when we need the cash just to get by. And while it does keep us fed, it has unfortunately not kept us in our home. Let me tell you, there is nothing more humbling than living a life in a place where you feel like you have it all together, and then to have the rug pulled right out from underneath you and have absolutely no way to recover. During Christmas, I found myself undecorating my tree and packing my home instead of celebrating around it and moving into my son's apartment to regroup. I do not say all of this to gain sympathy, but I want to be open and to show you that the risky and free advantage path is not always an easy one. It does not always look like how we think it should. I mean, it's right there in the name, risky path. That's life. Life is nothing if not risky. And though I live free, I still walk the risky path every day. I am still faced with struggles and challenges that feel defeating and overwhelming. The world is a very scary place for me right now, and so much of it is uncertain. So much of it is out of our control. I will tell you though, as I am walking through this time in my life, I can say I don't feel free. I feel trapped and backed into a corner with nowhere to go, and it does bring strong feelings of hopelessness sometimes. But I am here to tell you that it is not just about how we feel. It is human for us to feel like this when troubles arise, and it's okay for us to. Life can be hard. But what I am continually learning every day is that staying vigilant to the thoughts in my mind, staying deliberate in my actions keeps me walking in the life of freedom that I have fought hard to find. Though the world can take our jobs, our homes, and money, it cannot control and take how we think, how we act, and how we maneuver life. I have been praying for a miracle, for a door to be opened. I have pleaded with God for a way to be made, and in a way that makes me feel comfortable. But though I do not know what the future holds, everything looks uncertain right now, but I do know that though I may not understand all the ways in which life is being orchestrated, I know I will be okay. Sometimes when we think we are in the worst position, we are actually in the best position without knowing it. It is so easy to get caught up in the net of turmoil, not realizing it's actually our safety net. Dark times can feel overwhelming, leaving us hopeless and in despair. Our emotions and visions can become clouded and foggy, and we can't see a way out. It's hard for us to believe during times like these that this is actually the path to well-being, to hope, to light and truth. So many times I can recant feeling darkness envelop me, only to stand in shock and awe when the fog is lifted and I'm right where I am supposed to be, full of hope and relief. We get so caught up in what we can see that we forget what lies beyond it. And just like the gift we didn't get for Christmas, sometimes we get the gift we needed. Life has a funny way of doing that. Now, I don't know why this chapter is happening in my life right now. I don't have all the answers. But I do know this. I am not alone. You are not alone. If you too are walking a path that feels unbearable and you feel like there is no way out, we can walk this path together. I am here to encourage you and myself. Here's how I'm navigating this time, and I hope that it helps you too. First and foremost, be clear about what matters. Choose to focus on what matters the most to you in this time. Don't let the chaos of the outside world dictate your inner peace, because it's going to try. Check in with yourself and in your values. Bring yourself back to that space. And ask yourself, what is truly important to me in this time? Be vigilant with your thoughts. Stay aware of them. Stay aware of your thoughts. It is so important for us to take inventory of our thoughts and be intentional with our thinking. Most of the time we operate on autopilot, and this can do us more harm than it does good. Don't let the gremlins in your mind tell you that you're failing or that you're not good enough. Don't give them space to play. Keep your thoughts on your values and on what is good for you in this moment. And last but definitely not least, be deliberate in your actions. Even the small steps matter. Choose what's best for you, even if it's just one thing that you can control today. Do not take action out of desperation. I cannot stress this enough. It is easy for us to start making decisions that aren't always best for us when things seem difficult because desperation takes over. These things are the ones that help me the most in any difficult time. It reminds me to do the things that I can. When the world around me is spinning out of control, these are the things that I have power over. And remember, you are not alone in your struggles. And while the path may feel risky, you are capable of walking it. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to grieve when life doesn't go the way that we hoped. But don't lose sight of who you are and what truly matters. Take some time to reflect and center yourself in these times. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me right now? Where are my thoughts? And what is one small thing I can do to move me in the direction that I want to go? As I wrap up today, think on this. When you look up at the clouds and see darkness, lightning, rain, and you can hear the thunder rolling, remember that planes fly above the storms and can be in the same place we are, just above it, where the sun is shining and the sky is blue. So when you see the dark, try to look through and know that the sun is just on the other side. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with me today on The Free Advantage. Life is tricky. There are so many ups and downs and things that we can't control. But we can do it. We can make it. And we can walk this risky path together. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who might need to hear this message. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your voice matters, and it helps us to reach people just like you. And remember, even when the struggles rear their head, you have the power to be clear, be vigilant, and be deliberate. Join me next week as we continue our path forward towards freedom. And until next time, remember, freedom is the advantage you already own.